Hello again, everybody. I've been back for a few days now for my little adventure, and although I'd like to be gone again and be gone longer, right now I need to start moving forward and figure out what I'm going to do with myself, and I've got some things in motion that will be coming up pretty soon. But in the meantime, today's Sunday, I've got a few hours free, so I think we're going to take a little day trip up to the Sandhills in northwest Nebraska, north central Nebraska, and check some stuff out there. So come along and enjoy it, and I'll kind of give you a clue as to what I'm thinking about my future too. Coming into the town of Cairo. It's spelled like Cairo, but in Nebraska it's pronounced Cairo. One of the many goofy things we do here in Nebraska. Well, instead of going one way, I decided to go the other, and I wanted to make a little pit stop here in Dannebrog, which is a little, gosh, I think it's a Scandinavian town here. About 350 people. It's got a really cool pizza place, bake shop, stuff like that, as I recall. But the other thing is, a couple winters ago, flooded out really, really bad, and most of downtown was decimated. But it's been since rebuilt, and this is a resilient little town, so I'm going to take a quick pit stop here. Okay, we're leaving Dannebrog and I'm going back on Highway 11. I'm just going the other way. Originally I was going to go through Bolus and Rockville on the way up to Loup City, but I'm going a different way. So this part of Highway 11, if you're not familiar with this area, goes up to Elba and goes along up to Ord around the Loup River Valley. I believe that's the middle loop still. But that'll squarely place us in the Sandhills, and we're just out for a drive and checking out what we can check out. Okay, I'm on Highway 11. That's the highway just right behind me. To my south, which is this way a couple miles, is Elba. I already went through that town. Kind of a cool little town, about 300 people. And I'm in this valley right now where we start to follow that Loup River. And it goes all the way up to Ord and then on to Burwell. So it's pretty cool. You can see here behind me, this field behind me, the beans have already been cut. Already picking corn, so again, harvest is well underway throughout this county, and I believe we're in Howard County right now. And then this road down this way, it's kind of funny, about 5-6 miles down that way is a little town called Dannebrog. It's really not even a town anymore. It's, from what I understand, it's just a little, maybe an old mail stop and a cemetery. But I remember looking at it on the radar and trying to pronounce it, Dannebrog or something like that. But then I had a friend of mine tell me it was Dannebrog. So anyway, kind of those funky little things that we have here in Nebraska that you learn over the years when you look at radar, and like I said earlier, Cairo, not Cairo. So now we're in Greeley County, and there is a scenic overlook coming up, so we're going to go check this out. View of the Loup River. See, someone else is already up here. Couple people maybe, but let's check it out. Should be cool. This is on Highway 11 north of Coatesville, and I believe we're about 15 miles from Ord or so. So let's go check this out. Now it's a little breezy out here, and I'm not certain how far down we can go. Doesn't look like it all. But I'll zoom in just a little bit. This is the Loup River, and now you can see we're down this valley, and I'm sure the camera does absolutely no justice. very fertile ground in here. You can see the corn that's still standing, and then the hills in the background. A lot of different types of trees, obviously. So one thing on this that's kind of cool on this sign, it says Happy Jack Peak, and it served as a lookout for the troops to see the lower ground to surprise them, to protect themselves from surprise attacks from the natives. But if you look up here, this Happy Jack Peak sign and chalk mine, so underground tours and hiking, camping, picnics. So seems kind of a cool spot right here on Highway 11. And I point this way, and that's to the north. That's the way we're going to go. Railroad tracks right here, and I think this is the North Loup River, so I'll have to look it up. I have to look at my signs, but forgive me, I think I keep calling it the Middle Loop. There's obviously north, south, and middle. Just got into Valley County now, and Valley County, the county seat, is Ord, and I'm just kind of winging this with my phone camera. So we're just coming into North Loop, and the river is off to our right, and we pass the intersection of 11 and 22, both state highways, so better slow down. And this is North Loop, and the one thing about North Loop is they have a popcorn festival every year, I believe. Not sure if they're still doing it, but I know they did at least the last couple of years, so that's their claim to fame. Just like any other small town in Nebraska or around the Midwest. And to be perfectly honest, I love every single one of them. I'd hit every little small town if I could. Little sign back there, Popcorn Country USA. So, got the veteran statue, or the little salute to them back there. And there used to be a little bar here on the right we'd stop by every once in a while, but I don't know if it's been open in a couple of years. So, being it's Sunday, it's definitely not open. But I just love little downtowns like this. That building I just passed on the right goes back to 1808. Well, this is still Highway 11, and this is Ord in Valley County. And we're going to try to make it down to the river. I think we need to take the first right past Dollar General, which is coming up here on my left. And I'm going to go try to get a better route. Look at the river, and Ord has a really cool downtown. And a little cool brewery too, so we're gonna go check all that out here in just a second. Okay, I've never been to this part of Ord, and I know my videoing is not good right now, but it just should be a little better. So this will actually take us over the North Loup River, which is this bridge coming up ahead. And hopefully there'll be a good place to park and check it out. Just find these rivers pretty cool. Alright, we're going over the bridge. Pretty cool view. Might be able to take a right and come right down here. Well, this is the spot I was hoping for. Looks like the North Loup River is what we're on. We're right in the town of Ord, just about the east side of it. And good thing is it's absolutely gorgeous. Bad thing, the sun's just above us, so we're not going to get quite the quality of video we want, but I think regardless it's going to be pretty beautiful. this little buddy here as I was driving out. Now I'm on Highway 11 south of Ord going down towards Loup City. And I know the windshield's a tad dirty, but just look at all these beautiful valleys down here in between, nestled between all the hills. And there's a historical marker there that I'm going to miss. The blizzard of 1888. Oh, I got to go back and see that. I'm going to safely turn around. Here we are at the blizzard of 88. And I'm going to turn this around. And if it's a little windy, I apologize. I've got my windscreen on my microphone. But one of the coolest things that I really love being a meteorologist from historical events is the children's blizzard back in 1988. It was on January 12th. And a sudden fierce blizzard slashed across the Midwest, and the temperature fell between 30 and 40 degrees below zero. So what happened was a strong area of low pressure came through the prairie or the plains, brought a sharp cold front with it, and as the story goes, a lot of these kids walked to school. They were wearing short sleeves and pants, no jackets with them. The storm system came through and just decimated everything, brought snow, brought wind, dropped temperatures way down, so it was a big Arctic blast. A lot of the children got caught away from home, and a lot of the teachers who were only 19, 20 at the time in these one-room schoolhouses and weren't built very well, they got stuck out there, and they had to form literally a human chain with the teacher leading to try to walk in this horrible weather to the closest farmhouse, because the one-room schoolhouses weren't built very well, and the wind started picking them apart, and they weren't heated very well at the time. Take a look around here. A lot of these trees weren't here 150 years ago. It was all prairie. And now we've got corn. And I know we're shooting into the sun, but look at these bluffs back here. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's absolutely beautiful. And if you ever want to see this roadside historical marker, it's just about 10 miles south of Ord on Highway 11. So this is Highway 11, I believe, that connects Ord down to the south to Loup City. So very, very cool, and I hope you're enjoying this as much as I do. Okay, just a little clarification here. This is actually Highway 70 I was on. Now I'm turning right on 70, and 58 goes straight. It's a little confusing in here, but we're going to take a little side trip to a town called Arcadia. So if you come through Arcadia, this is a little historical thing you've got to stop at, because this church, even though it's not original, at least with the steeple and everything, was founded in the 1800s, late 1800s. And on July 9th, 1904, a tornado actually damaged this church. And I just happened to be passing through town back in 2015 from Broken Bow, heading to Ord, and I happened to see this and I stopped. So again, it's the story of this church, how it's been rebuilt a few times, as well as the longest serving pastor, who was William Alcorn, and that was from 1919 to 1929. But you know, that's the cool thing about all these little towns, whether it's in Nebraska or Iowa or anywhere else in the plains or Midwest, because there's so many cool stories, and you find this stuff. You just go drive around and look, and you never know what you're going to find. So we're back to where we just were a minute ago before we came in and ran west about 10 miles to Arcadia. To the left is back up Highway 70 to Ord. To the right is Highway 58 now, down to Loup City. So we're coming in from the west into downtown Loup City. Little food truck here. Didn't expect that. Old hotel on the left. I believe there's a diner in there too. I know I've had breakfast down here somewhere. But in terms of overall, oh no, I take that back. That's on the next block. Sherman County Courthouse. It's hard to tell. A good view of the front. The facade's pretty cool. Looks like it goes back to the late 1800s at least, but these trees in front kind of obscure it. It's the view of the east side of the building. Clearly it's been restored here as of the last 10-20 years maybe. Pretty cool. Alright, so we just went around the courthouse, got a good view from the east side, and I am going to go back out of town to the west, right into the sun. Dead Horse Creek, in April 1873, headquarters, Department of the Platte in Omaha, ordered a military scout of the North and Middle Loup River valleys. The detachment of soldiers was commanded by Captain John Mix of Company M of the 2nd Cavalry and guided by Conrad Little Buckshot Wentworth. The expedition was sent out in response to a Sioux Indian raid on settlements some 35 miles to the northwest. The action resulted in the Battle of Sioux Creek. Thanks for coming along, checking out the rivers, and definitely Ord and some of the other small towns, Dannebrog, and a little bit of Loup City. So had to do this kind of quick because I'm running out of daylight. But hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one.